Welcome everybody to another issue of the digital series. At European Rotors, the VTOL show and safety conference, we try to cover all areas of the business. And one is, of course, the increasing demand of training, especially with simulators, to further increase safety. Today, we are looking into the future of simulation together with a company called VRM Switzerland. And as always, let's first have a look who I'm having the pleasure to talk to today. Hi, Fabi.
Hello, thanks a lot for having me here.
May you shortly introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, my name is Fabi Riesen. I'm one of the founders and the CEO of VRM Switzerland in simulation. First time I was in touch with simulation in 1998. This time as train simulation. And in the meanwhile, as you most probably know, fully dedicated to helicopter simulators.
A real pleasure to have you with us. So I already mentioned that your company is on the forefront of changing the way we use simulators for trainings. But before we have a deeper look into this, may you give us a short overview about the company, its foundation, and what you have achieved?
Yeah, thanks. Yes, indeed, the VRM Switzerland is a team sharing the same passion to create the true flight experience for demanding pilots in virtual reality. Why virtual reality? Within virtual reality, we are adding to the simulation a much more correct visual cue. So something which is very important to the pilots, to the helicopter pilots, also that close to the ground, all the details are behaving correctly, and which is kind of like adding on top of all the existing traditional simulators, whether it is FMPT, whether it is FTD, or full flight simulators, a correct visual cue. So pilots do have this information to be able to control the helicopter in a as possible realistic manner with today's technology. VRM Switzerland started back in 2018, focusing on the helicopters only. One major driver there was that we've already had the technology ready, and EASA came out with the rotorcraft safety roadmap, kind of like good timing. And since then, we've been just working together in a innovation partnership with EASA to figure out, what's needed to qualify this new type of technology. And we've actually managed, beginning of this year, to qualify our first simulator based on virtual reality, the world's first simulator on virtual reality under the EASA rules.
Thank you for that, Fabi. Impressive track record in a very, very short time frame. We have first met over the last live EASA rotorcraft symposium where you had your simulator installed and were showing people how you do the business. Have you achieved also first customer contracts since then?
Yeah, definitely. There are a couple of customers which already make benefit out of it. Because, a part of adding the correct visual system, it is much more affordable than compared to the traditional simulators. It doesn't mean cheaper. It means much more affordable because you can do many things which were not possible before on a simulator. Think about doing slope landing, where you need to have all that information very close there. And yes, the customers we are currently having are those customers which are using the two products we have in place. It's the Robinson R22, our very first one, and the second one is the Squirrel, the H125 A-Star. Écureuil, all the different names, but it's kind of like the single turbine helicopter, which is used a lot with transportation and so on. And just to mention a few customers, those we typically also bring in public, the mountain flyers from Bern-Belp, They even have Robinson R22, and they will get very soon the qualified device from the FTD3 on the Squirrel. Ersa Matt. I mean, how could it be different? I mean, those guys flying around the Matterhorn doing transportation in precision. Then we're in the north, Helitrans. They will be with even 2 devices pretty soon. Actually, we'll be the first one having a qualified Squirrel. And last but not least, but it's also Heli Austria. Heli Austria, they will operate a Squirrel as well, the Robinson R22 in their ATO.
Thanks for that comprehensive overview and congratulations. I mean, an impressive amount of customers already sampled. So the followers of our format know that normally I would now ask a little bit about what you expect from European Rotors, which will happen from the 16th to the 18th of November in Cologne, when we see. But hey, Fabi, I'm getting a little bit suspicious. I mean, you're wearing headphones, but it sounds already a little bit helicopter style. So, and you're sitting in front of a black monitor. Is there something behind you which we shall have a look on?
Yeah. Actually, I'm just in front of the magic device which did the first qualification with virtual reality technology. I have with me here Andy Gaffno, one of our FSTDO pilots. Andy is actually not only a pilot, he is also flight instructor, flight examinator. And I don't know, Andy, can you hear us?
Yes, hello from the cockpit.
Hey, wonderful.
Hi, Andy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on board.
So, Fabi, can you explain us a little bit what we see and what makes VRM Switzerland so special in the way you do trainings and you do simulation?
Yeah, well, I mean, what is special is most likely what you already can see. So we don't need this dome projection on top of. What I mean by the dome projection is Andy is wearing a headset, and if Andy is moving his head, he has a full view of this, so he can watch to the left, to the right, up and down. He can even watch vertical. That's thanks to the visual. And if you look, if he's moving the head, it's not kind of like a static projection in front like you have on a simulator. It's actually what you see on the top left is the picture what Andy has in his VR goggles. The nice part there is that he can now fully operate the helicopter. So on the top left, we just added a camera for the audience, so you can see how it looks in live. And on the top right, this is what the instructor station is. In the instructor station, you can see the helicopter wherever the instructor want to be. I mean, that could be, for example, standing outside, like here for this slope landing exercise, what Andy was just doing, or you can go into the cockpit. I think we leave the outside view, so that gives you a little bit better idea how the whole thing is working. Then, as you can see, also compared to the lower class of simulator like the FMPT, as well the FTD, we are using a full-blown motion system. The motion system underneath is 6 degrees of freedom, so you have all degrees of freedom in place with additional vibration. And this motion system is even has been qualified at a FS level B motion system with a reduced stroke. Why reduced stroke? You know, in a helicopter environment, the G loads are important, but far less important than having roll rates where you can feel the machine. And we've been working for a very long time to figure out what's kind of like going to be the right motion combination, which reduces the perception error for the pilot. And like our motion platform, a part of that is qualified is having 5 times more roll and pitch rate and yaw rate than you have in a full flight simulator. So with flight data, we've been able to prove that this is much closer to the real helicopter, and this is also what is allowing to make exercises like partial landings, slope landings, full blown exercises with a realistic level which was never there before within flight simulations for helicopter pilots.
Great. Just a question from the offline, or we keep you, and these pictures are fantastic. I mean, thank you so much, Fabi and Andy. Thanks for doing a great flight. So can you show us a little bit what you can change? Like, can we move to any different daytime, or what is actually possible to be simulated?
Yeah, I think we most likely should first have a look to one key differentiator to many virtual reality applications. Think about Andy is now sitting on the simulator, and he wears those VR glasses, but at the moment you wear VR glasses, you don't see yourself anymore. And I mean, Andy, you can quite kind of like show how that looks like. So on the bottom left, you see that Andy is moving his body, and this system, which has been developed by our engineers in-house, is called the post-tracking system, is tracking Andy in real time, builds a skeleton, and with the skeleton, a avatar is controlled, and this avatar is fully synchronized with the physical cockpit. So with this approach, they kind of like solve the problem that you don't see yourself with VR glasses. We maintain the full-scale replica cockpit. As well, we offer the pilot the full haptic. So like all the switches, all the knobs, all the controls, they are there. You feel them and you see them in virtual reality. So the speciality is they are kind of like separating the haptic from the visual, which is just a matter of the technology using virtual reality glasses. But we do not lose the quality of the full immersion what virtual reality brings with. I mean, like if you are seeing, for example, there is a sunlight, and if Andy is moving his hand there, the sunlight is from the immersion in the virtual reality, regardless what kind of light we are having here in the room. That also works by night, by day, and on top of that, we can also do the entire tracking of the pilot. What I want to say with this is it adds a lot of new training capabilities. In debriefing or in analysis or whatever, you will be even able to figure out which finger from which arm has been used to adjust the radio. Was my hand on the collective the moment the indicator was in the yellow area? I mean, you can do many of such things which were not possible before.
Thanks, Fabi. Wow, impressive pictures. This is really a virtual reality. I mean, yeah, you were mentioning I've seen the sunshine on the head of Andy, but I mean, there's not always sun when you're flying in a helicopter. Is that right? So can you change the environment actually?
Yeah, sure. We basically can change everything in the different environments. I mean, yeah, like maybe Andy, you can give us a little wink quickly.
Hello.
Yeah, so you see kind of like that's the animated Andy in real time. We can bring in the light. You can change. We can change day and light through all the entire thing. So you see now his body is dark like it is during night. You can still see his hand. I can adjust the instruments and so on. I mean, those are all the things. I mean, not really, I would say, special for a simulator. But as you can see, you have the full capabilities there. What's going on around the environment? Having clouds, having the IMC and all the parts.
Yeah, and I can see the volumeter as well. I learned from Claude Vichard that this is such an important tool to make you fly. So, straightforward. Can I give you a challenge? Can I ask for something?
Yeah, sure. Let me know.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah, just with my hat from the German Helicopter Association and talking to operators, I heard about, well, you know, auto rotation is something which you really can train that good in a simulator. So can you show us an auto rotation maybe?
I can show it for sure, but at the end it is Andy going to be. So yeah, well, let me see. I'm going to add him the malfunction and cutting him the engine. I mean, to be fair, Andy knows it now because he heard us, but at the end, he still needs to do it. So that was it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Andy, let's go.
Let's go. Okay, now we are in a fully auto rotation with the engine off. And here you will see it's possible to fly like the real helicopter. You have the same RPM indication. We have the same parameters, and it's possible with the side to the runway or to the bottom. Here I will make the pre-flare, and then end the auto rotation. Yeah, welcome in burn.
Thank you so much. Well done, and good that you didn't cause an accident. I know Bern so well, and short wink to Urs Reeve, the managing director of Airport Bern. I mean, in my former career, working with fighter jets, they always told me each landing you can crawl off is a good one. So that was even better. Yeah, I mean, fantastic. So can we have hands-on over European rotors? Can we see and touch that over the show?
Definitively, we will do all our best that you can get hands-on on the device. I mean, everyone knows we will be challenged with all the COVID measures and so on. I believe it is going to be possible, and we will even show you things no one has seen before. So we are looking forward to the European rotors.
Great, but I think there is something else. You have another secret to tell us. There is, as we are here in the digital series, in the digital world, there's something we planned to do before. Is that correct?
Yeah, so prior to the European rotors, we are going to make a dedicated session for all the interests, also mainly pilots. I mean, we will give a demo with all capabilities and so on, so you can get a good feeling what can be done with those new type of technologies of simulators. It's going to be the week before the European rotors, so let's say a little bit teaser what we will see afterwards and where you can give hands-on then at the European rotors. If I'm not mistaken, Frank, we agreed on November 10th for that session.
That's really correct. It's set to be the 10th of November as part of our digital series, so another live webinar. Dear followers, please, you will find all the information down in the notes beyond this issue. Please register over the teams at europeanrotors.eu. Declare your wish already. The first 10 we will try to set up for Andy, give them more challenges than myself, because, you know, I'm not a pilot, so I don't have a real clue to how to challenge Andy the right way. And then we meet on the 10th of November at 6 p.m. over a Zoom meeting. And yeah, we will have the chance to, even 1 week before the show, to have another look into that, what's going on. So, but then it was a great pleasure, Fabi, Andy, and Simon behind the camera setting that up. Please, everybody, register, buy your ticket, meet us at European Rotors, meet Fabi, meet Andy, meet Claude, who is also very often in the simulator here at Düppendorf, and let's have a great show. Thank you so much, Fabi. Thank you, Andy. It was a pleasure.
Thanks a lot for having us here, and I wish you a wonderful great day, and looking forward to meet you in person, and looking forward to get challenged for all the exercises you want to see on that little nice cute full flight simulator with virtual reality technology in a format of a Swiss Army pocket knife.
Thank you. Bye.